Welcome back, YouTube. I am Matt. Welcome to just another drop in the bucket. Welcome back, YouTube. I am here, and today I have for you a review and maybe an update on the Lochby Field Journal. I would like to say that I went on a particular rant about Tomoe River. I stand by that. I am kind of tired of the Tomoe River. I do still have their small Tomoe River notebook in here because I think this is kind of built for the smaller ones. However, I did put an interesting piece in there, which I don't think it's technically built for. Why? Just because I really tired of the Tomoe River paper. What I did find was something that I was very surprised at. This one right here. What brand is it, you might ask? Paperage, which is found on Amazon. I'm not able to provide you a link at this time, but if you do look it up, the Paperage notebooks, this is an A5 size, appropriate for this size journal, even though I think it's too thick. I love this paper. So I bought the dotted notebook, and this is 100 GSM acid-free, high-quality paper. Things I can tell you about this other than the basic facts of the size and what it lists here. This paper is not sealed paper, so it does not perform like Rhodia paper, where it is super, super glassy smooth, but it is very smooth comparatively to other coarser papers that are also thick. Being that it is not a sealed page, it can ghost a little bit. Being that it is a thicker page, it ghosts less than it would even with high ink flow pens. I'm going to show you some examples on mine, different pens, different inks, and we're going to see how it performed across the board. So to start with, this is kind of like my broad ink sampling right here. Let me get this in focus for you guys and get it at a good position. Now this is a lay flat design, but this is also the beginning page because I just wanted to see how it turned out. So we could see here, zooming in even just a little bit more for quality. Let's see if it works. There we go. So I'll just kind of scoot it around and we'll look at some of the different inks on it. So starting up here with the top, this is on one of my Pen BBS nibs. And I am writing with Anderillium ink, which is a local Florida ink. And this is their Flying Squids. Now, this particular nib is a little bit more on the finer to medium side, and it writes with a little bit less. For people that have nibs that are writing a little bit on the drier side, it does absorb fairly quick, and it will not smudge very much. The first sample over here, there we go. Kind of hard to see on the screen when I'm looking at myself in delayed time. So this is a no smudge test, just how does it perform with a little bit of ink on it. We can see the letters are fine. They don't ghost, or they don't feather in this case. We haven't seen the ghosting yet, but here's a sample of where I've put some ink down. This is the smudge test right here beside it. And here's some line variation. It dealt with that pen very nicely considering it has a different shape and size. Going through, we see some different inks. This is some more Anderillium. Here's a pigmented brown ink written with a stub nib. This is one of my Twisby Ecos. Here we have an Endless Alchemy written with a medium nib that is stainless steel, and it is a plated stainless steel at that. That has a lot of shimmer in it, and if you are wondering, yes, it does actually display shimmer quite well. I don't know how well my camera's picking it up, but you'll have to take my word on it for now. The page actually does pick up all your shimmer and sheen very well. And as always, when you're looking to see how your ink did, give it a day to dry and then judge your color, shade, and sheen. You will oftentimes find what you initially turn out with is very different from the end result after it has cured. So moving further down, we have my sheening ink here, which does sheen. There we go. The light hit it just right there. you could really see it pop out on my page. Bam. So you could see it definitely has your sheening. Down here, we have all that is written from a 14K medium Navilar pen, that sheening ink. Going a little bit further down, this is a Asvi 930 with a shimmering Anamoya Borealis, which they are now currently sold out of. It was written with their medium nib, which was writing a little bit dry, for me at least. Other people have had better success with the 930s. Their main problem is they suffer from being far too large to hold for any amount of time. Down here, we have some more Anderillium ink, but written on a very exceptionally smooth, broad Iovo nib. And this is not necessarily a brown, but what do you call it? The red brown. Maroon. Yes. Further down, we have more, of course, plain ink. This is more of the Anderillium. This is the Miami color from the Miami Pen Show. And this, again, is written from another kind of juicy eco, and so on. We have many different variations, many different sizes, many different ink flows. And for the most part, if you have a wetter writing nib, for example, this one here, this is still another Anderillium, but this particular nib and feed write incredibly juicy. It's a long knife by Pen BBS. I just did a review on them, and I wanted to see how they performed on my new paper. And this paper holds up quite well to not feather your inks very much. Now, on the flip side, you ask, does it ghost? Well, here is an example of that page on the back. So let me zoom out so we get a whole page view. Now, defining ghosting, I would say, is it the same as ink has bled all the way through? Ink did not bleed all the way through. Is it visible? It is to a degree when you have light on it. You do have some areas where it looks like it's kind of come through a little bit, especially areas where we've laid down quite a bit of ink. Now, that's only in an area where you've really shaded. Areas where you've really only written, like down here, especially even on my one that, I said was pretty inky. Just looking at it in person, no more than any other page you would expect in that much ink flow. So it's moderate. It's not a sealed page, so it doesn't hold up as well. But if you have a lesser ink or less flowing nib and feed, then you could potentially write on the back of one of these pages. Most people with fountain pens typically don't, as far as I know, just because they enjoy writing always on the right side where it's the flattest. Some of the notebooks that are meant to lay flat, you could potentially write on both sides. The angle will be similar. But here we have yet another page, just some free writing. And what does it look like on the back? You could definitely write on the back of that page right there. So here's my review of pretty much this paper. So what is my opinion of it? How do I like it? This is kind of my new favorite, found accidentally. I was just looking for a replacement A5 notebook to put inside of the Lochby Field Journal. I don't feel like the Lochby Field Journal was meant for something that has so many pages as I bought. I bought something that's, upwards of, 160 pages, so roughly 300 front and back, but 160 full pages. I think the Lochby Field Journal is meant for, 3 or 4 of their smaller Tomoe River notebooks with, upwards of 25, 30 pages in a piece. It can comfortably hold 2, and it's elastics there, and you have some room for pens and stuff. And if you just had it with just those type of notebooks, you could put pens up here in the front, and it has this one on the side if you have a pen that you're willing to leave hanging out, and it would be a nice fold over. Right now, what do I wind up with? It looks pretty thick, folks. I don't think it's meant for this, but I'm also willing to hang with it because this is my new paper. It was the right size to technically fit in. It just wasn't maybe the right thickness. But I like it, I enjoy it, and I'm willing to sacrifice the exact shape and size of this particular field journal to deal with my new favorite paper and enjoy it while I can. One of the few things us fountain pen users enjoy is finding new paper that handles our ink well that we are currently using and able to write with without any flaws. If you have a favorite notebook other than Tomoe River that you have put in your Lochby, please comment in the section. If you have a Lochby and you own 15 of their little field journal Lochby notebooks and they're all in their Tomoe River, tell me about that as well. Tell me what your experience is. What ink are you inked up with? What are you writing in it? And how are you using your field journal? That is it, folks. Have a good day. Shh.